We tried to reach out to the man who died in this pursuit. They were unavailable for comment. Micah, back to you.
Oh, I have to stand up. Yes, Jody.
Oh, yeah, Ross. You come on behind the table. I know Taylor bites, but just, okay. So what you guys were supposed to do is come up with a pitch for your shows. That's not the pilot. That is what you bring up to the network as an idea for the show, and then the network goes from there and decides whether or not you're going to shoot the pilot, which is the first episode, or they say, let's give you some pointers and move on with another idea. Talk into the microphone because I can't hear you.
I'm glad I spent 5 seconds ready for this.
I thought you said 30 minutes.
That's all I do anyway.
No, I didn't know we were doing the show.
Oh yeah, and by the way, say hi to the entire Woe Entertainment Network.
Hello.
Because you guys are live.
What? I kind of thought this was going to happen.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
And say hi to Miss Jennifer. She is Blue Phoenix. She is one of our hosts, and I'm waiting for everybody else to come on. But because that's half the fun. So anyway, Taylor, you take the floor, and if you guys want to move off screen, you're more than welcome to.
No, you're staying. I need someone to bounce ideas off. You stay.
Okay, so this is great. They had no clue that they were going to be live. Okay, so
okay, I thought that you were going to pull something like this. So I have readied myself, and I'm still completely nervous.
All right, so we've actually got people checking in the comments as well. So, with that being said, Taylor raise your hand so everybody can say hi.
I'm Taylor. Hello.
Okay, there's Taylor. So he's going to pitch the first show idea, and then we're going to move through the rest of them. Jody, you're not getting out of this, by the way, just so you know. But Taylor, you're first, and then I'll have my panel of judges give you a little bit of a critique, and then actually next week you'll probably find out whether or not your show is going to get accepted to shoot a pilot for the network. So
I don't even have my partner with me.
Excuse me?
Grady didn't come.
I know. Well, I'm your substitute partner,
okay.
And you're my partner of
substitution.
I've stayed to the microphone so that everybody can hear you. And
where do I need to be talking into the microphone? Is this
right where you're at right now?
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to move it a little closer to your mouth, but you should be fine. All right, and go.
Okay, so I'm going to pitch this like you have no idea what it is. Okay. Okay, my mother here is giving me stink eye stares for some reason. Go away, Mom. Okay, so my show idea is that I want to play Dungeons and Dragons with my friends live to an audience. And so what Dungeons and Dragons is, it is a cooperative tabletop role-playing game where you and your friends have to go through situations that the game master, the one who runs everything, throws at you and see if you can solve the problem or end up creating an entirely new one. And
This is learning for me too.
yeah, so this is good for you too. So that's basically the gist of Dungeons and Dragons. That it's an ethical, moral situation game that has a baseline story with it,
Kind of RPG, but you make it
Yeah.
yourself.
essentially. And so most of the time, what happens with the game masters, which I will be for the show, is that they go along through a set story they have made, as along with the people who are playing their character's backstory, which is entirely up to the person creating the character itself. It's the game master who has to write everything into the general story of their world. And
So it's basically creating your own people and your own
essentially.
and situations.
Mhm. And I'm trying to think of another way to explain it. This is hard now. Okay.
Look at the screen.
It's a very creative game.
I'm looking at the screen. Now what?
Can you read?
I can. Oh, hi. I
Hello.
see that.
You're doing good. Keep going.
He had me at D&D.
Had me a D&D. I like that.
I have never played this game before. Like, never.
Well, I've been able to play it. I've just never been able to play it
With a lot of
often.
people.
Like whenever I play it with my friends, it ends up falling apart. We don't really continue going at it, and I have so many campaigns.
Kind of dies halfway through.
Essentially, yeah. So,
Yeah, that's nice.
Mhm.
It's probably a very long game.
oh yeah. There's this. It's a very long game. Stop.
This is gonna be very interesting.
I know it's gonna be very interesting.
I was not ready for this.
So the longest that I have seen is these people who do it over on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah.
Their second campaign started about August 2018, and they're still going on with it right now. And they've just preceded the episode count of about 4 hours ish of their first campaign, which had been about, I want to say, like a little under 100, maybe a little over.
So
but-
campaigns are like
Campaigns are like the general story of the world, what's going
so you
on.
can have multiple
Speak into the
with
microphone, Ethan.
different stories and stuff like that.
And so, the main premise for the story that I'm running, I don't want to give too many details away because you're going to be one of the people playing. So, I don't know what I can say to not spoil it.
You can give a sense.
Okay, give a basic premise, real quick of
The
what
moral of the story.
an hour episode would
Oh,
entail.
an hour episode. I cannot
Right.
even get into.
So if you're breaking the game down into hour segments,
okay. Most likely,
just real quick
with
pitch.
most likely with the first episode, if it was an hour, introducing the characters, starting off with a small simple quest in the starting town, and then maybe
How
exiting the town
How
if
many
that's what the players decide.
characters?
A good game is like at least 3 to 7 people.
And
That's
they all have their different backstories.
and they all have their different
life and
backstories,
skills.
different everything.
Cool.
Like if it's 2 players, then it gets kind of like it's only the 2 players interacting with themselves.
Yeah,
every-
it's kind of boring.
yeah, it's kind of boring. And if it's
All right.
over 7 people, then that means it's just a lot more complicated to keep track of every single thing that's happening.
Okay, I'm about to mute you. Okay, so leave your headphones on.
Okay.
I'm gonna pop Redneck Pimp up and Blue Phoenix, and I'm gonna have them give you their critiques.
Hello.
It's on you guys. Go.
Oh, I was waiting on him to load in. He's not loaded in on my side, but okay. One thing I would probably do is not say that you have failed campaigns before. They've fallen apart.
But when I say that, I mean like my friends and we just don't
I know,
track.
but I would still kind of leave that out because whenever you pitch that to somebody, it kind of looks like, oh, they can't complete something. Maybe they won't finish the show. I would kind of leave that part out. I know you're nervous, and so that kind of popped out. Something else I might have brought along, you were kind of going there. I know you didn't want to give a lot away, but would still kind of be to bring a story. I used to be a dungeon master, and I've even run a version of D&D called Bessem, which is Big Eye, Small Mouth. It's an anime version. Maybe just brought maybe a story you've done in the past, not the one you want to do, but maybe this is a story we've done in the past, and this is how it turned out type thing. Just kind of giving examples of what you've done.
Go ahead.
Actually, I kind of spaced out in the last thing you said. Sorry. My mom was looking at me and said something, and I was like, "What?" You're like
the Avengers campaign you did.
What I was saying is you might have brought some examples of campaigns you've already done. Instead of trying to not say the one you were going to do, maybe this is a campaign I already did. This is how the story went. This is how long it lasted. There's those types of things.
Okay.
Just so you know, she like me as a former dungeon master. So
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you the 2 stories where I killed the entire party.
How many people were in the party?
Okay. The first time, there was about 6 people, and the second time there were 4 people, or maybe 3. I don't know.
How'd you kill him? Get into a boss battle?
The very first campaign that we were running, it wasn't me that was running the campaign. I was one of the characters that was playing. So, we were playing the starter kit module and everything. So, in one of the towns, there's a green dragon that you have to fight if you decide to wake it up. I climbed up the tower that it was sleeping in, and then I decided, instead of like going back down the tower after seeing the dragon, I decided to continue climbing up. And then I failed my dexterity save, and so I broke one of the planks I was climbing up, and it hit the dragon on the nose, breaking it up.
The smartest idea.
Not the smartest idea at all. So we end up getting into a big fight with the dragon, and then these cultists show up, and I'm like, what the heck is these people? And so as we're all dying, they're bringing us back to life as essentially zombies. And so I woke up the dragon, and that's what killed us all. And then I died at 1 hit point when I turned into an exact replica of the green dragon, and my friend decided they wanted to kill the green dragon. They wanted to hit the green dragon, and they succeeded, but they didn't say which dragon they wanted to hit, so they killed me instead. The second campaign, where I killed the entire party.
What about a successful campaign?
I have not had one.
You had the Avengers.
Yeah, well, we never really... Okay. The week ended. We couldn't see each other after that for a while. So the second campaign, it was run by the same person, but it was set in the Greek and Roman god style, like that sort of stuff. And so what happened?
What time and period?
I'm gonna say, I don't know. AD.
80.
Okay.
We lost.
We did?
Jennifer. But anyway.
Okay. The second campaign that I killed the party was we were going down into the labyrinth, and I used the spell Detect Magic to see if there was any magic around us. There was magical footprints going off down another hallway. There was one entirely blank, and there was one just full of magic ahead of us. I wasn't thinking clearly, and we all chose to go down the one with tons of magic. And then the walls started closing in on us, and and so I had this piece of equipment that I used to carve a hole into the wall, and it ended up. I can hear you, so they can too. Okay, the camera kind of fell.
Oh yeah, no,
there we go. Okay,
sure.
So I was carving a hole into the wall, and then once we all got into the hole, the back fell away, and we fell into the center of Daedelus's workshop. And then
you dug your own hole. Literally.
We dug our own grave essentially because we got trapped down there for the rest of the campaign, and so we just died essentially.
That's a very nice campaign.
Totally, and all of the people died. So both times it was me that killed the entire party.
So basically, this is just.
It's just fun and antics most of the time.
Cool.
See, I would have kind of gone more with that originally then, because it shows how much you enjoy it, what you're going with, not that you failed stuff before. You did complete it. Even if you killed each other, you still completed it.
Yeah.
I have not played this before, but it actually kind of sounds interesting.
I know, right?
Oh, it is. Imagine playing an anime version of it. That's even funner.
Oh, there's this person I know that I've watched on YouTube who makes anime booklets that adds things to D&D.
There's actually a version of it called Big Eye Small Mouth. It's Besom, and it's D&D anime.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay, so Taylor and Ethan, get off the screen.
Thank you.
Okay. Who are we gonna have go next? Am I gonna embarrass Jody or? Maddie and Carly next. Pop the headphones. Pop the headphones on. Pop the headphones on. Okay. So.
Did you put up something on Facebook last night and then delete it?
No.
Well, I saw something that you posted and it said we were going live today.
No.
Then how did I figure?
Anyway, so next, I don't know who Bookworm is, but hi. Oh, that must be Renee. Okay. So anyway, so next we've got Jody pitching her show. You can actually angle that down so the microphone's not in your nose. There you go. Okay, and 5 minutes, go.
All right, so my pitch is all about archery, and I've been in archery for 2 years now. I'm enrolled in 4-H. I have went through 2 different bows, and we have a lot of bows, so I shoot quite a few different bows. And my first bow I started off with was a Bowtech Fanatic, and it was a small hunting bow, and we put a target sight and a drop away rest on it, and I shot it for all different state stuff and everything. And then after I got done with all of my state stuff, I went up to a bigger bow, and I just want to tell people about the different bows and how they work and what all is to 4-H or shooting anything that they have questions on, and just help other people know the knowledge that I know. So there are lots of different ways to shoot, what equipment, what bows, everything. So I have like 2 different quivers. I have 2 different arrows. I mean, a lot of people have like 4 different arrows, 4 different bows for all different things. And I only have 2 to start off with. I still got plenty of time to get more. But I really enjoy shooting, and it's just something that I feel like other people would enjoy listening to and talking about a lot of times. Lost my thought.
Is that all you got?
I think so, yeah.
All right, Richie. Critique, go.
Well, I enjoyed what you had to say. Bow hunting is a distinctive skill for distinctive people. Okay, the fact that you got knowledge at a young age will help your audience. It will lure your audience in. It will get older audience. It will get younger audience members. Okay. Also, I think you should throw in there because there's a big debate about broadheads, broadhead, fixed head, mechanical head, things like that. Bring that in too, because that's where a lot of debates come from. And it just the bow and the quiver. It's also the fixed head or broadhead mechanical head that you use. So brush up on that and bring that to the table when you come too. Also, how are you on crossbows? Or do you like crossbows? Do you like recurve bows? What's your bow? And what kind of bow do you like? Some people can't shoot a regular bow. Some people can't shoot a regular bow because they might have, like I have neuropathy in my elbow. I can't pull regular bow back and hold it. So I like to crossbow hunt. Cover things like that. There's a lot of topics. Every week, there's always something to hunt. We use turkey, hunt deer, you can hunt anything with a bow. So I really think your knowledge is good, and I think this will be a productive show if this is what we decide to do.
You gonna say anything?
No, I'm nervous.
Calm down. You're having a conversation with me and the pimp. Okay, it's just chill. All right. I'll be honest, and I was gonna embarrass you to death, but I know you're really nervous, and so that's part of the reason why I wanted to kind of surprise you guys in going live, because I wanted you to not think about it. So, Maddie, you're next. So quit making faces. And honestly, guys, and I know you can't see me, I love these kids to death. I look at them like they're, my own little, demons running around. Because they're just, it's fun. And I've had a blast teaching this class this semester. But I like your pitch. There's several things that I could probably help you with. in the future as far as just nerves and stuff like that. But a lot of it, the only way to get through it is just by doing it. Basically, you have to ignore the camera. And so, ladies who are going next, you might want to pay attention to this part. Ignore the camera. You're not talking to the camera. You're talking to me. You're talking to, act like Richie's right here with me. And you're talking to us rather than you're just using the microphone to record your voice. Okay. So don't be, you just ignore this. Okay. Ignore this. Don't worry about looking at this. The whole reason why I've got this right here is so that I can pop comments up and see if I can throw you off. Okay. You guys haven't watched our show, but you need your parents' permission to watch our show. They try very hard to throw me off my game. Anytime that I'm actually on stage, they try to throw me off my game. And you can ask this guy right here. How often do you guys try and throw me off whenever I'm doing the MC gig?
Every time.
See, so it's one of them things. You did really good. All right, you did better than I expected.
Yeah.
But I figured your nerves were going to get the best of you, and you were going to forget what you were talking about. So
always remember.
Kudos.
Always remember, pressure makes a diamond. Okay, pressure makes a diamond. Just remember that.
All right, you get off the screen. Maddie and Carly.
That poor girl's so embarrassed she couldn't wait to leave the screen.
Get up here. Get up here. Get up here. Get up here. Because Renee is watching. Okay, well, just. All right, so we've got. All right, Richie, I'm pulling you back down to the green room. All right. You ladies had an idea. So you've got a few minutes to talk about what you think your show would basically cover, whether it's daily stuff, fashion stuff, flowers and unicorn farts. It's up to you. Okay. It's your show. You guys are pitching it to us at the network. Go.
I don't really know exactly what I would talk my show about. I may base it some on history and some events that could happen and kind of almost make it a learning experience where you learn stuff about it but still make it fun and interesting. What would you do yours on?
I don't really know. I've never really thought about it. I mean, yeah, I really didn't think.
The microphone.
So, like, what are some of your things that you're interested in? Because that would be a good place to start with, like, because if there's something you know a lot about and that you think you can make fun for others to listen to,
Music?
that would be a good one. Anything else that you're into?
No.
Okay, is your best friend? I know that is certainly not true.
We're gonna get criticized hard.
They're not. I'm watching the comments right now.
Well, I would probably, along with like a learning experience, I would maybe, I like Paris a lot. So if I could add little things in there, along with that, remarks about the Eiffel Tower or the other cool things, monuments in Paris, I would certainly do that. Or even make it like a tourist thing, like the best places to stay, good places to eat, and maybe even add that on to other countries.
Yeah, that would be a good topic.
I also enjoy little kids a lot, so that would be kind of hard to get into a topic, though.
Childcare.
Oh yeah,
You could be a teacher.
but I mean, I'm just a kid, so like I don't really know a whole lot of advice, but fun things and stuff.
Yeah, I think my main topic would definitely be just music, because that's like all I pretty much know. So
What about music? What'd you do?
Well, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and stop you guys. Carly, because you keep on mentioning music,
Mhm.
We actually just opened up an audio only section of our network
really,
where on Friday nights we do. There's Renee. We'll pull her in next. We actually do an audio show where we do music. Like tonight, I think tonight's 80s night. So they're gonna rickroll everybody to start off. That's the 70s, Jody.
I'm going to the bathroom.
So that could possibly be something. All right. And it just and quite literally it would be exactly what you're doing now, minus the camera. So there is a possibility for that. And with that being said, though, I'm going to pull Richie in and let him give you guys his thoughts on how you guys did.
I just stared at you the whole time.
As soon as it loads, because for some reason Richie's is going really.
I was trying really hard last time I was in here to not pull that electric guitar off the table.
You gotta lean back. Can you hear me?
Richie, you're frozen up, bud.
Let me get out and come back in.
Yep. Blue, if you have anything to say, you can. Oh, she muted herself. She's listening in the background though. And Renee's muted herself as well. Let's see. We got comments. Okay.
Anyone's secret guess.
Actually, we've got comments. Potato guzzler. Interesting. Okay, so you guys, Brittany wants to know what you would play. What kind of music?
That's hard for me because I like a lot of new country, but I like a lot of Christian, so it's hard. It would be kind of hard for me.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see what Richie has to say.
Yeah, is that better? All right. I absolutely like the music platform. There's all kind of music out there that people like, all the way from heavy metal to Christian music. I've listened to about everything. Bocephus and Metallica are my favorites, but I've listened to Carmen, the Christian side of things. I don't know if you listen to Carmen, go check it out. You'll like Carmen, if that's your thing. A lot of platforms won't carry music though. Like Facebook, for example, you got to watch when you do something on Facebook because they'll flag you. Okay, they're bad about that. So you're looking maybe YouTube, maybe a couple other platforms. So you got to kind of watch what you do with music. If you're playing it, that's you. You own the music, that's fine. If you're playing somebody else's, there's a lot of restrictions. You got to go. So, but I like the music. I like it. I really do. I like the music.
All right. What about the history pitch and the general knowledge?
I love history. I'm a history buff. If you're not careful, history will repeat itself. Okay, so we need to learn from history. I wish there was more things. I'm a nerd, history nerd. I wish there was more history on. So, what kind of? I got a question though. What kind of history are you gonna do? Like military history, civilian history, world history, American history?
I think just world all like American history, kind of on the Pilgrims and the Civil War and American Revolution, all those things.
Yeah, that'd be great. Do a lot of Native American stuff. I'm part Native American, so Native American history would be great too. There's a lot of things people don't know. There's a lot of things about slavery that people just don't know. That are not in the books. So yeah, history that'd be excellent. Yeah. So, and you could do that over all their platforms. There's no restriction on history. If they are, they're not very nice. So you don't want to do with them anyway. But history is great. I like both of them, music and history. Yes.
All right. Well, all right. Well, you two ladies can get off screen.
Yes.
And it'll be Miss Renee's turn. She's sick at home, so
The kids are doing well. Kids are doing well.
Hello. Can you guys hear me? I can't hear anyone. Hello. Okay. So my video idea, broadcast idea, was a history broadcast. I do little known facts or just random facts about people, places, things in history. Some of the ideas were like Navajo code talkers, facts about World Wars I and II, Vietnam War. I like a lot of the war history, so I'd probably do a lot on that. But also American history, Civil War, American Revolution, westward expansion, those types of things. And yeah, that was my idea of a broadcast. Yeah, that's all I really have. What?
Yes, I told the last lady the same thing. There's always a market for history. I'm a history buff. I love history. If you're not careful, history will repeat itself. Okay, so you got to do it. And there's no restriction on any platform about it. I appreciate the fact you do military history. That's awesome, being a veteran. Like a little more knowledge about the Native American culture and the true aspect of slavery. So there's lots of things that people don't know, about history. Who actually invented the peanut butter? Who things that come from slavery that people don't understand how they got here, why they're here, and things we use today. Like a lot of things Ben Franklin invented, we still use today. So a lot of his inventions, like the bifocal glasses for one. So history is always it's always, and I love history. So yeah, I think that's good. I think it's very good.
I love history too, which is kind of the main reason I'm wanting to do the history. So
Yeah, no, it's a very good choice. And there's always history never runs out of topics because every day, every minute goes by, create history. This is not a minute. See the history. You just popped on here because you did that a while ago. That's history now. So history is always never runs out of topics. Mm-hmm. You just gotta learn your crowd. Here's the deal with history. History to some people is boring. It's dull to some people. Right? So you got to make history fun. It'll be in your delivery, what you talk about. Some things are very interesting, like how they made tanks, why they made tanks.
mm-hmm.
Why shoestrings come about. History is very important, and delivery of history and the timing is real great too. You don't want to, talk about foolishness when you talk about history. History will sell itself. You just got to have the right delivery on it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to you?
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, and I love the enthusiasm, and thank you, Richie, for kicking in. Also, thank you, Blue Phoenix, for kicking in your thoughts, and everybody that's in the comments right now. These kids had no real preparation as far as being able to go live and do this, and there's a reason why I did it. For one, I like to mess with them because I love them to death. But for two, I wanted them to be able to see, for one, what me and Richie deal with on a weekly basis, or whenever I decide to show up and do the show. But for two, I wanted everybody to be able to kind of give them encouragement and give them love and show them love, and them to be able to see that, number one, the WOW Entertainment family of fans is the best family of fans there is out there. They do nothing but show us love and appreciation and make us feel like rock stars every day. Secondly, is there is such a knowledge base, and for this guy right here that normally sits here, but he's down there right now, who plays this big dumb idiot, to actually speak intelligently for once in the 3 years that I've known him. No, I love you. And Mickey just kind of hit something that I was getting ready to say is, I want to bring these kids along on our journey to break the world record for the longest live stream, the longest continuous live
Absolutely.
stream.
Absolutely.
Our goal is 400 hours. Yes.
Non-stop, straight.
Non-stop, continuous, 400 hours. Well, I'll explain that after we go off air, guys. But I know for a fact that Taylor's show idea will eat some serious time. That thing will be like Pac-Man on hours. But there's a catch.
Which one was that?
The D&D show.
Okay.
The Dungeons and Dragons show. The two history buffs, that's going to kill some time. Jody's show would kill some time, especially if she does some shooting demonstrations and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes.
Sadly, because we're going to be live on Facebook for that 400-hour period, we can't do the music show. But it really is one of those things. Like, I have been thinking about this since I started doing this class, and I didn't really want to bring you guys, let you guys know that this was actually going to happen until today. At least one of y'all shows is going to be on the network within the next couple of months. I will tell you that. So long as your parents sign off on it and everything like that. I'm going to let this video in particular that everybody's on right now. I'm going to let it marinate out there and let the fans see it. And I want the fans to comment and talk, and give you guys love. The link for this show is on the Zion Prep site. So you guys will be able to go in and look at the comments that are popped in on the Facebook side. So Mickey, get the D&D show going with those kids properly caffeinated. And we'll own that record forever. And actually Mickey is one of our hosts. He may be somewhat of a knuckle dragger at times, but he does have a really big heart, and we all know him as the Harambe keeper, and and he's got it. He's got a great heart, and I honestly think that whenever I mentioned last night to, Ethan, I lied. I did put it up last night. But I wanted to see if you were actually paying attention. I actually didn't ever take it down. It just stayed up. Because I'm good like that. But anyway, and honestly, it has been a pleasure working with you kids this week or this year. And I know you guys are destined for great things. So with that being said, guys, much love to you all. Renee, stay in. Richie, go away. And I'm going to end the broadcast. Ross, you see up there in the top left corner, it says end broadcast. Yes, thank you very much. Much love to everybody. We'll see you guys Tuesday night right here on the Woe Radio Show. And then click it again.